Hey everyone, Joby G with Touch of the Brush Model Weathering, and welcome to the Bell Community Branch update video. It is January 2022, and we do have another update video for the switching layout here, and we recently extended the layout out onto the bookshelf, which is also our research library, as you can see here. The extension houses 3 tracks for staging. This will be scenic with a backdrop. As you can see, there is a few extra cars here that are ready for delivery for our industries. But you can hold about 7 to 9 cars on this extension. And then we're going to go to the left here as we pass by the abandoned rail line that's above. That goes onto the actual layout. We have added a stop sign at Bell Road. Not much else has changed on the layout. We do need a new Safeway rooftop, and also some scenery needs to be added to the layout. We have placed some boxes along the back of the layout to see what it will look like once we have some buildings scratch built or kit bashed to represent some of the industries and buildings along the community, along the railroad. The one thing we have added are these LED strips are underneath here, and does give a nice daylight look to the layout, especially at night when you shut all the lights off in the room and you just have the layout lights on. It looks really bright. Our next step with buildings is to finish fixing this particular mill or grain mill here, and to get rid of all the different colors of this polyfiber, and we're going to make it look as realistic as possible with more greenery and scale leaves and stuff like that. We decided to keep the old depot that's along the Conrail River line. This is what my dad scratch built years ago, and this will be the maintenance and waste shop, which will be placed around here. We do have a train in the background that has a old Southern Pacific Black Widow GP7 and Hudson New England U23B. This GP7 has been gutted to become a dummy unit since the engine hasn't ran in years. Plus, it's very hard to convert something this old to DCC, so I will have better use for it on this layout as a dummy unit. We do have some motive power that will be used as Bell Community switchers, and they require, well, they consist of, let's say, I believe like 4-axle units, mostly 4-axle. We have a variety of them, and we can use on the branch line here. There's a train sitting here that needs to be switched out. The whole goal of the Bell Community branch line is to serve the community, and the community to serve the state or the region in which the railroad serves. And so we have decided that it will be a great idea to represent the farming community, since Bell is a community in this town which we live in here in Arkansas. And so the Safeway will be our food produce, taken from fresh food from the farm and stored into reefer boxcars and sent off to its destination. And over here will be a mill where it will receive loaded soybean or corn and transferred to truck and brought to different mills around the area to feed chickens as well as other livestock. Over here will be corn syrup or oil, which will be a transload facility for from tank cars to truck for farms and other places around the country. Again, some mock-up buildings to see what will look like here. As you can see over here, there is a going to be a warehouse, and this is an appliance warehouse. Not sure on the name just yet, but this is basically where most of the community works, in this major appliance warehouse. And just like a lot of small towns, there is maybe a major industry that most of the town works in. And here is the factory itself, and it's going to be appliance based. So we have coil steel coming in for material to build the appliances, as well as a box car with either plastic or sometimes paper, cardboard, or styrofoam for packing. And some cars will be brought in by materials to bring in, and then the finished product is either delivered by truck or taken out by truck or taken out by rail. And then we have scrap loads in the middle here. Right here in the middle there will be all the scrap from the coil, and all the sheet metal will go right here on these scrap cars in the middle. There's a foreground track. Right now it's housing cabooses and some of the touch of the brush projects that are for clients here, including the C&W scale trains, operated series -9s. This is a team track, and the track is for miscellaneous, really, anything you want. We had an NMRA Fun and Easy Model Railroad Operation video that we did for the NMRA on YouTube, and so we brought a center beam or a lumber flat in that needed to be loaded with lumber from the local mills out here in the region. So you can have a different kind of industry or all different kinds of product and commodities on the team track. And here are some other projects we're working on here. We got a blue engine that was a New York Susquehanna and Western Jeep that my dad painted, and it lost its paint over a bit, and as well as the decals, and so it's going to be a Conrail unit once it's all said and done. And so this is basically, the team track became the project track. But overall, this is what's going to be happening for the next year or so. It's going to be wiring up the layout and getting the switches working, as well as most of the extension and all of the main line. And we're going to be soldering all of the track, just like it did with the Evansville Junction layout above. And so with an operating session, these cars that are coming up from the Evansville Junction layout will come down here, switched out on the switching layout, and then the cars that need to be brought back will be brought back on top of the layout. And that will be a simple operating session that you can do in the small area where you don't need a helix nor an incline. So there's another option for operating in a small area. You don't need a large layout to do it. There's a lot of operations on the small 9x9 layout. So guys, I appreciate everything and all the support and the journey, and well, the encouragement and hanging out with us, and follow us on our journey as we continue progress on both layouts. We do have a Patreon page, so become a member of our Patreon. It will be in the link below this video, and all those donations will go towards the channel, as well as a lot of how-to videos, supplies for the how-to videos, and all that stuff, so as well as merchandise. So you guys take care. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a great month. Take care.